stop drinking. Okay, welcome to today's video, a meal prep Monday video. I apologize for this video not going out on Monday, but I think I mentioned in my last video that I have so much footage. I've been vlogging so much lately that I didn't want to wait till next Monday to post it. So it's kind of like an early meal prep Monday, but nonetheless, here it is. And I am excited to show you this recipe of a turkey meatball type thing, and also the chickpea pasta that I showed you guys in my Whole Foods Finds video. Everyone said that it was really good and I should try it, so I'm excited. Now, today I don't have enough macros for the remainder of the day to fit in everything that's going in this recipe. So instead, what I'm gonna do first is create my dinner for today with the turkey and the chickpea. It's just not gonna have like the eggs and Parmesan and everything that I'm gonna show you guys back there. It's just gonna be the plain turkey with the chickpea, but I'm gonna show you guys how I do that as well. And because I'm doing that with one serving, I will show you guys the dry pasta to cooked pasta ratio, as well as the meats, and how I'm going to create this recipe in my MyFitnessPal, how I'm gonna log it, and all that stuff, because I know that creating recipes always seems to be a topic of conversation for people when it comes to MyFitnessPal. Like I said, I'm gonna make one serving of the pasta and turkey for my dinner tonight, so it's kind of like a pre-meal prep for later because I'm not eating it now, and then I will make the remainder of like the meatball. Oh my gosh. The remainder of the meatballs with everything else mixed in for my dinner tomorrow and the following day. So we will get started with the first turkey pasta meal right now, which is gonna be super plain, and just so I can show you guys the conversions for the pasta and the meats. So here we have our spices, because I don't take my IBS seriously, according to my subscribers. I have some extra lean ground turkey breast from Jenny-O, some quick 1 minute Quaker Oats, Kraft Parmesan cheese. Fun fact, this Parmesan cheese macros actually pretty decent, 1.5 fat, 0 carb, and 2 protein for 2 tablespoons, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's actually like perfect on top of a bowl of pasta. And then the Banza Rotini chickpeas, some eggs, and milled flax seeds. I realized after that I looked at the recipe that it called for whole flax seeds, which I don't know if I have, but I'm sure that milled is just as fine. So this is all the ingredients that you will need, and you will just have to preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and we are going to bake the meatballs today. So if you have not seen any of my other videos, I have talked about it before, the raw meat to cooked meat conversion. And if you take the cooked meat and multiply it by 1.33, you will get the amount of raw meat that it was. Raw meat loses about like 20-ish%. So if you did not know, 4 ounces of meat is equivalent to 112 grams. For me personally, for this meal tonight, I only need 2 ounces of turkey, about 60-ish grams. This is 64, that will be just fine. And I'm gonna go ahead and pop this onto the pan. Seasonings that I showed you guys, just a tad bit of Italian, some garlic and onion powder, nothing crazy. Again, this is such a small amount just because I'm always over my protein. And while that meal is cooking, I am going to go ahead and start working on everything that's going into the meatballs. So we're doing 1 egg. We are doing 1/4 cup of Quaker Oats, which if half a cup is 40 grams, then 1/4 cup would be 20 grams. Hello, math, where you at? Who says I can't do college algebra? It definitely has to be the quick oats kind, not the whole rolled oats, because that will make it too big and too chunky, and then your meatballs will be lumpy. So you want the quick oats. 1 tablespoon of these flaxseed mills right here, and 2 tablespoons is 30 grams. So 1 tablespoon would be 15 grams. We are going to add our Kraft Parmigiano cheese. To be honest, I think I'm probably just gonna use 2 tablespoons instead of 1, because this is like lower fat and I want it to taste good, obviously. And then I'm going to add in my Italian seasoning. This is what it's going to look like before we go ahead and mix it all up. And then we're going to arrange them, and I will show you how when we're gonna mix it all up, and then we're gonna take the same portions for each meatball. By the way, my My turkey is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this into the bowl and show you guys what the conversion is. So remember, we had 64 grams, and this turned into 47 grams. So you go ahead and take 47 times 1.33. You have 62.5, and I remember I went with 64. So it is very close, and that is the calculation that I use. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put this off to the side because we still have to put the chickpea pasta in there. Now moving on to the meatballs. I'm gonna spray my glass baking sheet with some coconut spray that has no calories, but has calories. So the reason why I am weighing out the individual meatballs to make sure that they are all uniform is because I'm going to create this recipe in MyFitnessPal, and once I go back and edit it and change how many servings it creates, I'm going to put the amount of meatballs that it created. And if I have some like ginormous meatballs and some really small meatballs, that's not really gonna be accurate. So that's the reason why I'm making sure they're just all the same size. And also the other reason why I wanna do it is just because you could technically, like I could bake these and then weigh out the total amount of the recipe, like all the meatballs. But the reason I don't want to do that is because then every single time that I'm going to have a meatball, I have to weigh out the meatball and see how much it weighs to log that. And I would much rather just be able to like have, you know, log 1 or 2 meatballs or whatever the case may be. So that's just why I'm choosing to do it this way. You don't have to do it this way. Obviously, you can do it whatever way you feel more comfortable doing it, but this is just the way that I'm going to do it for today's purpose of the video. So the total amount was 17 1-ounce meatballs, and they are going to go in the oven the first 7 minutes, and then I have to turn them. So we're gonna do 7 minutes and then we'll rotate them. So while those are baking, I am actually getting hungry myself, and I did not film this meal prep because I have made this chicken so many times and you guys have seen it, but I will show you what I do for that kind of stuff. And I think I did mention this in a previous meal prep video. I am the kind of person who likes to make one put together meal, which is going to be the turkey meatball pasta recipe that you guys are watching. And then I have stuff in my fridge that's separated in separate containers so that I can just go in, grab what I need, create a bowl out of it, maybe change the ratios if I need to, and make my perfect little lunch meal, which is what I'm going to do right now while I'm baking the turkey meatballs, and I will show you how I do that as well. As you can see, I have created these little pre-made Tupperwares of the things I typically add in my bowls, and I'm going to put together a little bowl, and that is going to be my lunch. So here's what they look like coming out of the oven. They look really good. I just broke this one open to make sure that the inside was done all the way through. Smell really good, like Parmesan cheesy. I'm just waiting for that to boil up so that I can go ahead and pop the chickpeas in there, and then add the actual peas and a little bit of cheese, and I will show you guys what the finished product will be. So now that we're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the Banza Rotini pasta, and I'm gonna show you guys the 1 serving conversion for this as well. This should be pretty universal along all pastas, and this is made with chickpeas, so I mean maybe a slight variation, but nothing crazy. So the serving size for this is 2 ounces, which is 57 grams. Go ahead and put this into our boiling water on the stove. Oh, my pasta is done. Oh, hello. So our 57 grams of pasta turned into 106 grams. No, 6 divided by 57. Really, it's like almost 2. I would round up to like 1.9. So if you take our pasta times 1.9, you get 108. Exactly would be 1.85 if you really want to get like technical with it. And there you go, 105.5, and the pasta is 106. 3 meatballs in there, 3 meatballs in there. Obviously you can put however many you want. The only reason I'm putting 3 instead of 4 is because the chickpea pasta per serving is like 25 grams of protein. So this meal is going to be very, very high protein. Of course, because you guys know I always like to have some type of vegetable with my meals. I got these garlic Parmesan peas because I felt like it would go good with like the flavors that I put in the turkey. going to add 106 grams. Obviously, if you want this meal to be very lean and very boring, you don't have to add any type of pasta or Parmesan cheese on top. However, really a tablespoon of this has hardly any macros, and I just think to make it less dry, it would be good to add some of that. And like I told you guys before, the Kraft Parmesan cheese for 5 grams, it has super good macros as well. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of sauce and a tablespoon, or 2 is the serving? 2 teaspoons, sorry, of Parmesan cheese, just to kind of like bring it all together. I am just going to add about, I would say 20 grams of sauce is good. And then we are going to top with 5 grams of the Parmesan cheese. This is the finished product. I'm very excited. I'm going to pop the macros up on the screen just really quickly, and then we're gonna go over how to create this recipe and what you will need to do. All right, so just to recap, this is everything that we have used for the turkey high protein pasta meatballs recipe, which smells delicious. I'm so excited to eat it. And so what you're going to do is open up your MyFitnessPal. Just so you guys know, as a side note, I'm not adding in the pasta or the peas. I'm gonna do that separately because this is strictly for the meatballs and everything that went into the meatballs to create the 17 meatballs. I hope that makes sense. I wouldn't put 1 serving of pasta into this recipe because that would mean that 1 serving of pasta would be spread out for 17 servings, and that's not necessarily the case. I am simply creating the meatball recipe for 17 servings because I made 17 meatballs. So when I go in to log this meal, I'll show you how I do that and log 1 serving of the chickpea pasta and 1 serving of the peas separate outside of this recipe. I am plugged into the computer right now, so you guys will actually be able to see me do everything step by step. I'm gonna pop my phone screen up right here so you guys can follow along with me, and I will show you how to do it. First thing you're gonna wanna do is go into your more section, and you're gonna go into meals, recipes, and foods. You're going to create a recipe and enter ingredients manually. Turkey meat ball. So we know that this recipe yields 17 meatballs, so I'm going to go ahead and press next. Then we're gonna add the ingredients. So I'm going to scan a couple, some of them I'm sure I already have on file, but the first thing that we're going to scan is the extra lean ground turkey. Okay, so we scanned that, and 17 1-ounce meatballs. So there we go, 17 1 ounces. Then going to go ahead and use my Eggland's Best eggs. I only used 1 egg, so I'm going to switch to 1. We're going to go with our Quaker oats. And remember, I used 20 grams, so we're going to do 0.5 of that. The flax seeds, I used 1/2 of that serving, so go ahead and change from 1 to 0.5. I'm not gonna add the peas only because I put 40 grams of peas in each individual thing, so this is just strictly for the meatballs. I ended up putting 2 servings of this, it was 10 grams. So this is what everything is in the meatballs. So when we go ahead and go next, for 1 meatball, you're gonna have 1 gram of fat and 7.5 grams of protein. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that. Once that recipe is saved, I'm gonna go into my diary. I'm gonna go to Friday just because I haven't logged anything for that yet. We're gonna go to dinner, and I'm going to select recipes. The turkey meatball is right there, so I will do 3 servings of this because remember, I put 3 meatballs in my little Tupperware. So for 3, oh hey Jen. Guys, gonna see our conversation, going back. So for 3 servings of the meatballs, 3 fat, 2 carb, and 22 grams of protein. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. Then, because remember, I used 1 serving of the chickpea pasta, go ahead and scan this banza pasta right here. That was for 1 ounce. We'll go ahead and save that. Going to go ahead and scan the peas. And I used half of a serving of peas, so go ahead and log that. And then I topped it with 1 serving of Parmesan and 20 grams of Bertolli pasta. Now remember, this is a good example because this one right here just so happens to be already in grams, so I'm sure when I click on it, I love when this happens, it gives me the option of 1 gram, and I logged 20 grams. So if you guys are curious, here is the final recipe: 41 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, 42 grams of carbs, moderate carbs, super high protein, moderate fat, and that is how you do it. So I hope that that was not too confusing or overwhelming for you guys. Definitely try it yourself. Go through it, use the steps that I just did, try it, and it will make so much more sense as you're doing it. So I hope that that helped you. I hope you tried this recipe. I actually tasted a meatball and it was so good. So I'm very excited to eat it for dinner later and for the next 3 days. A lot of people ask me how long my meals last for, and I typically will prep for 2 to 3 days max. I don't like eating leftover food for over 3 days. It freaks me out. I'm scared to get food poisoning, so that will never happen. But other than that, I am going to clean up this giant mess that I just made because I am like a Tasmanian devil in the kitchen. My mom always laughs at me. And that is the end of this meal prep Monday video. I have been playing around with some snack recipes and some like cookies and stuff, and to be honest, I'm just not loving them. I haven't found something that I'm like, yes, this is great. I will be practicing more, not vlogging it, to make sure I get the recipes perfect before sharing them with you guys, because I want you guys to always trust my taste in food. But yeah, so that is where I'm going to end this video. I have a Reese's cup in the freezer that's calling my name, so I'll catch up with you guys in the next video. Thank you so very much for watching, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up because Meal Prep Monday is awesome, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!